Okay guys, it's time to empty the pantries and go through everything and organize properly. Plus I can deep clean the pantries as well at the same time to get it done. And then I can really see what I have left. I'm gonna try and sort it at the same time because I notice I have a lot of baking, not recipes, what do you call them? Baking ingredients, like, okay, I promise, I'm not drinking in the morning. This is my homemade vanilla from vodka. It's been in here since 2023, so it's nice and dark now, but I'm running out. I'm also fresh out of the shower, nice and sparkling clean. So that's empty. Gotta clean it out. Don't mind the dishes in the sink. Okay, so we gotta talk about these spices today too. I can't reach. I'm gonna have to get a step stool. Okay, those are empty. I'm gonna move on to this cupboard here. Look at this. I got a bean in my pantry. Thinks he's food. Okay, I'm gonna empty this pantry. Okay, all the food is out of my pantry and currently everywhere, making up a huge mess. This is literally all I have left in my house. And now I'm gonna have to clean everything and organize. I didn't even know I had dill pickles. Spears? I thought I just had the rounds, like bread and butter pickles, but I got those. I didn't know. So now I gotta clean up the mess. We've had some spices make a big mess. So I gotta clean all these pantries now. And the cat is still in there. Alright, I'm gonna start with this one. Cat. Okay, so I just wipe with a dry cloth first to get out the fuzz and the cat fur and everything. Then I have this Mr. Clean multi-purpose cleaner. I don't know, the boyfriend likes it, so we have it. How many of you are short? 5'1". Tickle my tiptoes. So I'm going to clean this bottom one. It's where we keep our empty bowls as well. Again, we wipe it out with a dry cloth, then we go in with the scrubby stuff. And then eventually I'm going to redo all the pantries, like even the ones that hold the appliances and stuff. But that's going to be a later day. I mean, I might not even put food up here anymore because this is where like the junk food used to go. So all the Christmas chocolates and stuff like that was up here. Okay, that one's done. I'm gonna go onto the little spice cabinet thing. Okay, I'm going to clean the one above the microwave. That is where I keep my canning stuff. So there's not much to clean up there. Okay, about the last one now. Probably the messiest one because I've had some spices and some crackers fall out there. The good thing is the sink is right there. I'm just going to wipe the crumbs in the sink. Okay, that's done. Now, we have to sort. Now, I would like to avoid putting stuff in that top shelf. I'm 5'1". It makes it difficult to get stuff. So I think if I have empty mason jars, because I know I have a bunch, I'll put them up there. If not, I'll put the mason jars in the shed, which is where I have most of them. Because they only come out like once a year when I start doing canning. And over here, above the microwave, that's where my canning spices go, and the rings and the lids and stuff. So I'm wondering if we should just keep everything in the shed, but the shed is not heated. So I'm assuming is it gonna rust the rings? So probably I'll have to keep the rings and the lids in the house somewhere. I don't know, I'll have to look into it. So let's get sorting. Okay, so the first cool thing is I have dill pickle spears. I didn't know I had those. So if stuff is too high, I just can't see it. So I usually make my own pickles, but I ran out of my own pickles, so I bought these from a local lady who makes them down the street. And so I'm gonna put these in the fridge so they don't have to go back in the fridge, the pantry. So I have one of these pickles in the fridge already. This is bread and butter. So these three I don't need to have access to anytime soon. Okay, so the pickles are gonna go up there, and I think these craft dinner cups, we bought these because they were like a huge case on liquidation, and it's the triple cheese version, but I don't like them, my kid doesn't like them, only my boyfriend likes them. So these could be for him, obviously. So I'm gonna stick them on the top shelf. Okay. Like I said, pickles I don't need access to right away. The macaroni and cheese is mostly for my boyfriend, so if I make it, I have to get barbecue tongs to get stuff down, or I have to use a stool. Now I found some barbecue sauce that's brand new. It's called the sweet barbecue sauce, and I remember buying this a few years ago. And now that I'm out of my dinosaur barbecue sauce, if you remember, I need a barbecue sauce. So this is gonna go in the fridge. Oh, I have about this much left of this one. So that's going to be finished, and then we'll get into this one. So this is pretty cool, actually. So basically I finished 2 barbecue sauces. And I'm starting my 3rd. And then officially, there'll be no other barbecue sauce in the house. Okay, so I want to kind of do things differently where I don't want food in all the different pantries, like, there, that one, and that big long one. If I can condense it to that long one and this one, it would be great. But I know this little spice one, that's where like the salt and pepper and everything goes, because that's the stuff you reach for every day, and the sugar with the tea bags and the coffee. So I want to get more convenient, I guess you could say. I want to condense. Part of this pantry challenge is because you get so much stuff, and you keep buying stuff, and you keep pushing it, and like the cupboards are pretty deep, they're like a foot, maybe a foot and a half deep, a little bit, so you just keep pushing stuff back, and like the barbecue sauce, you end up with 3 barbecue sauces because you keep buying barbecue sauce. And so I think I'm going to change the entire way I do food. I think I'm going to have less in my house, probably, and I'm just going to go shopping more often for what I need. With a few exceptions of like flour and oats and sugar, like stuff I go through all the time. So let's continue. Hey, guys, I almost had a heart attack. I'm not joking. I just dropped that camera. It just came off of the swivel piece that you have to tighten to keep it on the tripod, and my hand hit it and it must have been unswiveled and I didn't notice, and it began to fall and I caught it by the strap. Can you imagine if I broke it? I would be like dead. I was like, oh my god. So continuing on after the drama, my heart's actually like, because you do that and it's like, Jesus. Okay, so I have all this cat food. They used to have the cat food in metal with this brand, and now I'm noticing it's in plastic, so I'm gonna have to switch brands. But the cat food is not something we use all the time because this is wet food, so this is like their special treat. Maybe once a month they get it, if they're lucky, if they're good. But they always get it for Christmas time and their birthdays and stuff, you know. But so I don't need to have access to this so much, so I'm gonna put it up there on the top and see if that's gonna work. Apparently there's 4 different flavors, guys. I didn't even know this. What do you think? You think it's gonna work? Alright, so we got cereal. If you remember, this was way on top of the counters. I would like it to be in the counters. So it's gotten a little dusty. It's Count Chocula. It's my boyfriend's favorite. Okay, so we have 3 unopened boxes, and 1 open box. What I like to do is just, I prefer to get rid of the box. And just keep the bag like this because it takes up less room. And zero waste tip of the day. This could be composted in your home compost. You put into your town's industrial compost, or you can recycle it. If you have a fireplace, you can use that to start your fires. Okay, what's next? Maybe stuff that I have a lot of, because I noticed something. I have all this pizza crust mix. I ended up getting like cases of this stuff. And now I have 2, 3, 4. I have 7 left. I used to have like, I don't know, 20, 30. So this is what's left. And it's not bad. It makes a pretty good pie crust. Ooh, something just fell. Okay. It makes a good pie crust, and you could do 2 pie crusts with it, technically. But it's better to just do 1 because it makes it like a little thicker and puffier. So it's called the Gattuso pizza crust mix, and it's pretty cheap too. Sometimes it comes on really cheap. It's a little annoying to store though because it's like, you know, slippery, falling down. I'll have to think of a better solution for that. Okay, pasta. This is my son's pasta. How about if we find the lid? Put a lid on it. Nope. Pasta. And then I have spaghetti. This is in a plastic bag because at the time it was the biggest quantity I could find. There was spaghetti in a box, in a cardboard box, which would be better, but it was such a small amount and they were charging like 3 times the price because this was on sale. So, you know, a lot of times, guys, zero waste is about doing what you can afford and what you have available. So, I keep flip-flopping on something. Normally, my baking supplies and stuff is in that big, tall pantry with the smaller shelves. But these have bigger shelves and more room. So I keep thinking, like, what if I put my baking stuff here and my canning stuff here? and spices, but the actual like food would go in the other pantry, and I never did that before, so I don't know if it's gonna work. So I think I'm gonna try and see what happens. I don't know. We'll give it a go, I guess. So I have, this is hot chocolate. If you guys know any recipes with hot chocolate besides just making hot chocolate, let me know, because I've had this hot chocolate for a couple of years now, and it used to be full, so like that's all they've eaten. I don't really drink it or nothing. So I either got to do something with it, or maybe some of this stuff that's been lying around I have to consider giving away if anybody wants it. So I'm not sure what to do. So that's hot chocolate. This is chocolate chips mixed with a few white chocolate chips and some like little cookie pieces. So I could change this mason jar out to a smaller one. Actually, I'm not going to do that, because once they're done, I always want to have chocolate chips in the house. So if I can make a trip to Bulk Barn and get fresh chocolate chips, because again, these have been around for a little bit. Okay, this is brown sugar. Now, one of the things that happens is when your pantries are so packed, you go out and you buy things twice. So I have a bag of brown sugar here that's hard as a rock. I don't know if I can save it, if there's a way to save it, if I could just like pound it with a hammer or something back into powder. I'm gonna have to look into it, but I bought it because this was buried in the pantry and I didn't see it. Yes, Bean. My Bean is here. This is, what is it? I don't know. Could be cornstarch. I think it's cornstarch. See? It's not labeled. Probably label your stuff. It's cornstarch. Gross. I have to like go drink something now. Okay, so how about if we label it? I have one of these grease pencils. So we'll write corn starch. Okay. Now we know what it is. Now another thing I have is cocoa powder. This is a ton of cocoa powder. Now, can you use hot chocolate like cocoa powder? That's a question. Okay, this is my pickling salt. I don't know if my pickling stuff should be in a different pantry, if I should put it back with the rings and everything, because it fits there. So I think I'll put it. That was a ring falling on me. I have citric acid. This is for pickling as well. I got mustard seeds. Use that in canning and everything, obviously. I have celery seed. See, I have to take the dust off of everything. I have pickling, canning spices. This is like a mix already done. And I have cloves. A bunch of cloves. I love cloves. Cloves smell great. So I have my homemade vanilla made with the vodka. So that's still great. Oh, it does fit. Okay. Now I also found way over here, somebody gave me this as a gift, I remember. This is a vanilla extract from Mexico. It's in a plastic bottle though, but seeing that this is gonna run out soon, I'll have this. Okay, so I'm gonna take out the pasta that I already put in there. Okay, I also have this jar. Now you're gonna laugh, because I don't know what it is. And the thing is, I have tasted it. And it kind of... It kind of tastes like beef stock. But I thought beef stock was a lot darker. Or it's some kind of soup base. It's something like that because it's quite... Yeah, it tastes like a soup base of some kind, but again, I didn't label it. I remember it was something I got into a bag from somebody. And see, you don't label stuff. Don't be like me, label. But I'm pretty sure it's a bouillon base. It's some kind of beef stock or soup stock. It's also got that consistency in that powder form, kind of. So I'm gonna label it as soup base. It's definitely not chicken stock. I mean, I know that because you know the color, but it's probably like a beef stock soup stuff. So I'm just gonna write soup base on it. Now the other thing I'm maybe stupidly concerned about is this too heavy for this? So we have baking powder. It's in a plastic container. I used to go to Bulk Barn and get my baking powder, but I lost access to Bulk Barn, but I recently got it back. So once this is finished, which will probably take me forever, I'll go back to buying it in bulk. I have baking soda in a cardboard box. This is the same thing I used to buy at Bulk Barn. And if you buy this stuff at Bulk Barn, it is so cheap. It is way cheaper than the cheapest box you could find. Super cheap. So salt in a cardboard thing with a metal spout. This is another thing you can get at Bulk Barn, super cheap. What else we got? Molasses. Oh, the Bulk Barn I used to go to had molasses as well, and you had to like scoop it out of this big vat and put it in a mason jar. It was an absolute mess, but it was kind of cool that you could get your own molasses. Not all Bulk Barns have it. Another thing that kind of bothers me is to put stuff in front of stuff. But you know, what are you gonna do? You kind of have to, right? Now, what else is baking related? We're looking for baking. What I'm noticing is I'm finding a lot of honey. That's honey. This is honey. What's over here? This is honey. And I thought I saw another honey somewhere. Oh, here it is. Yeah, that's honey. Why do I have 4 jars of honey? I know it's all, I remember buying it at like farmers markets and stuff because it's all local honey. And one of the honeys was made down my street. Okay, so this is icing sugar. Okay, so icing sugar. And then I have oats. This is oats, see? And this has, look, it has kefir on it and dust. Because this was at the bottom of the big pantry over there. And the back of the pantry is out a little bit, like it's broken. Plus being close to the floor, you're just gonna get all the dust and stuff. So we'll wipe it off. There, so oats and icing sugar, so not bad, right? Now, the spices. Let's talk about spices. A lot of these spices I bought at Bulk Barn years ago. So they're a few years old. Now, the issue with keeping spices for a long time is they don't go bad, okay? So get that out of your head right away. They don't go bad. But they lose their potency. So you have to use more spice to get the same flavor you want. Also, some of it I bought just for like certain recipes. So I have ground anise seeds. You know, it smells like licorice. And like I said, I only bought it for like a few recipes. So what I need to do is I need to find recipes that take it so I can use it. Or another option is find out if maybe my mother or my family members need any of this stuff. And then I could just give it to them. Last resort was it's all compostable. But I hate wasting food. We paid for it. We should be using it, basically. I don't like the idea of just composting it. And these jars are great. These jars were veganese jars. So you know you have mayonnaise, right? Which personally I find bland. And you have Miracle Whip, which is like a tangy mayonnaise, which I love. Now, if you've ever had veganese, it's vegan, right? But it tastes like somewhere in between. It's not bland like mayonnaise, and it's not super tangy like Miracle Whip, but it has a flavor. And it's so good, and we used to buy it all the time. And that's why we have so many of these jars. And I haven't bought it in forever. Mostly because they actually jacked the last time I looked 2 years ago, maybe 1 year or 2 years ago, the last time I looked, they jacked the price up super expensive. So I stopped buying it, so I went back to buying Miracle Whip. So right now I don't have any in my house. I don't have mayonnaise, Miracle Whip, or veganese. I have nothing in my house. Okay, so they're all in the same kind of jar except this one. This was my dried leek tops, which is amazing. So, do I put them here? Because they used to be here. So if I put them here, it's going to block that stuff. And I really don't know if it's too heavy. If it's too heavy for this. Which sounds silly. Or the cereal and the pizza dough can go into the big pantry. Because that's like more food. Whereas I consider this baking, cooking, spicing stuff like ingredients to make food. If I'm making any sense. So I think I'm going to try that. So I think I'll put the cereal in here. Maybe I'll put it there, and I think I'm going to move the pizza crust there. See, this would be handy to have like a little basket or something. I think I'm going to take the pasta and put it here. Normally we have way more pasta, but we're doing the pantry challenge. Okay, I have a bunch of chicken noodle soup packages. So the box is all messed up. I'm gonna get rid of the box. I got 4 chicken noodle soup. No, get out of there. Shoo, 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 shoo. It's clean. I'll put them in front of the pizza crust. We have 2 flavors of Parmesan cheese, regular Parmesan and Italian style herb blend. And they're both like half empty and a quarter empty. I think I'm gonna mix them together. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh, but here's the tip. This lid, this really cool lid with the big opening and the holes will fit on a mason jar perfectly. So I actually keep these lids. So I'm just gonna throw one in another. I hope I don't make a mess. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad of a mess. Not bad. Throw the crumbs in the sink. So now we have one almost full to the top. And like I said, I'm going to keep this lid for a mason jar. So Parmesan cheese is going to go with the pasta. Makes sense. Back to the spices. No. I'm going to take the 2 cans of tomato paste and put them with the pasta and cheese, because that makes sense as well in my brain. So maybe what I use the most has to go in the front. Leeks I use a lot. Now the dried onions I use a lot because we don't have onions left. Garlic powder. Onion powder we use a lot. Montreal steak spice. It's really good to put in hamburger meat and stuff like that. What else? Basil. Parsley. Savory. Savory is really good. Put savory on all your poultries. Paprika. So everything else, cinnamon. We use cinnamon a lot for baking. Okay, so there's your front row. So your coriander, cumin, ground anise seeds, mustard powder, bay leaves, ground ginger, and turmeric will go in the back. I can also double stack. What do you think? But if you bake, like to get to the stuff in the back, I mean, you're gonna have to move everything. Okay, so that's what I got so far. Okay, so this little cabinet is a spice cabinet here. It's got this little spice shelf on it. So, because I have spices in small jars. See? So you can have that on there. Just not sure what the spices. Okay, there you go. I got Cajun fried spice from potatoes, which is to use as a what? Because everybody's talking about they taste so I'm gonna try it. Oh, this is close. I'm close. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I hold those around close. Let's see. Golden allspice are baking spices. Then you have Cajun fried Cajun, that's more cooking spices. This is pizza spice, almost gone. Okay, just I have nutmeg, a little here. What else I got? This is my little hamburger pepper. I'm going to use cafes. You can do hamburger addition of it, so whatever. And then I'll have the fries. I can do a little bit of addition. And then salt. This is my white pepper, which I love white pepper. This is my extra pepper. Then I have salt, which is not heavy, so I'm going to get box salt we saw. I also have sugar. This is my sugar here. I have oil, I have coffee. I have coffee over tea. I also have 3 grapes. The biggest cheese is organic. Cream over tea. If you already know this, I'm sorry. So I want like all tea. That's what we're going to there. Okay, I have this is soy sauce. Don't use often. I have Worcestershire sauce also. And I have this is good soap. Really good stuff. Really good water. So I had time. I have 20 bags of full chicken turkey, which is because they make this anymore. This is 2019. So it's so it's cheap. Okay, I have my bigger the blueberries and the and then I Okay, so here's what I'm left with. I got 4 of these crystal light things to put in water, so you can have flavored water. I found Metamucil fiber, cat treats, Oatly that I usually keep a non-dairy shelf-stable milk alternative in my pantry, or I used to make my own oat milk. I found garlic mayonnaise style sauce, so it's like an aioli. I found a bacon Caesar salad dressing, not open. And I have these 4 honeys. I also found some cream crackers. So these are like saltine crackers, but huge. They're from Newfoundland. So they're just giant crackers with no salt on them, which I didn't know I had. I forgot about it because it was falling behind. I found 100% dark chocolate because my son thought it would be a good idea to try. So he tried it. He hates it, which I told him he would hate it because basically this is baker's chocolate. So I'll have to find something to do with that. I found some raisins. Put my honey up here. I have a lot of honey. I think it's going to take me a long time to use all this honey. I might see if my mother wants some honey. Which is funny because I remember giving her a bottle already. So that means I would have had 5 bottles. And honey doesn't go bad, but it'll just crystallize like this one. So this one's almost finished. I was putting it in my tea instead of using sugar. We have the garlic aioli mayonnaise sauce. We haven't tried it yet. I really want that to fit in there though. Maybe I'll do that. Just kind of weird, but whatever. We have an Oatly oat milk thing, which doesn't fit either. Okay, so that's gonna go somewhere else. Okay, so the oat milk, I'm gonna put in here the Caesar salad dressing, the raisins. Oh, I'm gonna put up here Caesar salad dressing, raisins. I got the 4 little crystal light guys here. I got the cream crackers, which I didn't know I had. See, in my brain, this is how my brain works, right? I think cream crackers should go with soup. You know what I mean? And like raisins should go with baking stuff. But it doesn't really matter. And then I have those tostadas from that kit I'm gonna have to do something with. I mean, basically, it's like a Dorito, right? You could just eat it like that. 100% dark chocolate. It's gonna have to be baked with. I'm gonna have to find a recipe to do something with it. So here is what we have left from like Christmas. So I have a tin. I only have 2 jellies left. So I'm gonna take the jellies out and I'm gonna get rid of the tin. These are an after 8 tin. So I have 3 after 8 boxes and a metal tin. So I'll either reuse the tins for something else or get rid of the tins. This is something I bought my boyfriend for Christmas. It's a 1 pound Reese's Pieces chocolate thing. And this is how much he has left since Christmas. And I'm doing this video in February. It's the first Sunday in February, whatever that is, the 8th, I think. So he still has all this left, and it's like super thick. So I'm gonna put this in a just a bag to get rid of this big box and stuff. So I'll do that. Now I found licorice. Oh shit. And I just dropped 5 of them on the floor, so that's gonna be composted. I didn't even know we had licorice. So it's still soft, so I think it's okay. These are fine. Now the other thing I found was this bowl. This is where we throw all the candy and the stuff for Christmas, but I didn't know it's full of these things. So apparently this is flavors for your water. And they're almost all brand new, except this one's open and this one's open. So you have Kool-Aid, you have lemon, you have fruit punch. I didn't even know we had that. So it's like, you know, to make your water taste good. So we'll just put that with my Crystal Light things. And then you have Tootsie Rolls and hard candies and chocolate. And we just keep it in here for now. And we pick at it. Okay, so I'm gonna put the things I just found, the flavored water things, here. Now I know right now it's all like cutely placed and easy to see and whatever. This is the Crystal Light ones. So at least I can see it right now. This is not probably how the pantry is going to be all the time. I don't know. We'll see about that. We have after 8s. I'm trying to avoid putting stuff in that other container pantry I showed you. So after 8 chocolates. I love chocolate mint. So it's really good. Twizzlers. So this is going to become like, I guess, the junk drawer, the junk food thing. So I'm just going to take this mason jar and separate the chocolate from the candies. It's going to be easier to get to and eat, so you don't have to dig through everything. Just drop it on the floor. So here is the final look at the pantry. We've been doing pantry challenge for 39 days. Bottom is all baking supplies and spices. Then you have icing sugar, oatmeal, oats, a random garlic sauce, honey, macaroni cups only the boyfriend likes, wet cat food, extra pickles. This is my canning shelf, so it's lids, rings. This is all the pickling spices, cloves, mustard seeds, pickling salt, celery seed I use for canning. This is our everyday go-to olive oil, coffee, tea, sugar, salt, pepper, and some spices, taco seasonings, things. So because this is right next to the stove, this is what we reach for all the time. And if we swirl over here, the big pantry has the cereal, pizza dough, chicken noodle soup. Then you have your pasta with your tomato paste, your Parmesan cheese, shelf-stable milk, some crackers. This is what's left to the junk food thing. You have a thing of the chocolate, the candies, Coke alternatives like the flavorings for the water. There's some cookies in there after 8s. And the bottom just has some cat treats. I didn't put anything in the bottom, because the back is broken here. If you see it, it's out. So the dust and the fur is getting in. So I prefer not to have anything in there. So that is exactly what the pantry looks like now after 39 days on the pantry challenge. There is now no food in here at all. And I prefer not to have food in there if I can help it. And so far this is, I think this looks great. It's just going to be a matter of when I want my baking stuff to move the spices. I think it looks good. I hope, like I said, I'm concerned about the weight. But we're going to see. And we're going to continue doing the pantry challenge. So this is an update.